What's good, Coco Mob? It's your girl Yoki, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I didn't release a video Monday, but I'm back to give y'all another video. This is gonna be a story time. You know, it's long overdue. I should have been told this story, like, because I want to help other people. And hopefully the things that I've gone through, my wrongs and like the things that I've been through that I should never have done, maybe other people can learn from it. So I just want to share this little story with you guys that happened to me. But before we get into this video, make sure you thumbs up, comment, subscribe to this channel, slap that notification bell so you can get updates whenever I upload or post. Because if you tune into the YCC, then with the MOB, and we're about to get into it. I'm doing my makeup as I tell you guys this story. I already did my brows, so if you want to see a video on how I do my brows, just click the link in the description below. I'll have that video on my how-to brow video. But let's get into it. So, like I said, I always want to help people, and a lot of people ask me, like, how did I get into modeling? How did I do this? How do I do that? As far as like, me being like a public figure, it all started back in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I'm from. And I will always upload little pictures and like little pictures of me in swimsuits on my Facebook, MySpace, Black Planet page and stuff. Back then, that's how old I am. Last Saturday, I just turned 29 years old. Yay! 29 years on this earth. Round of applause. Yay to me. I made it another year. So thankful. But yeah, so where I'm from, back home in Indianapolis, Indiana, a lot of people used to say, oh, do you model? You should model, and things of that nature. So I never really took it serious at first, but I started uploading like pictures of myself on the on my little social media page. For some reason I can't find my Tarte setting spray. Most likely my daughter had it, and so I'm just gonna use my Maybelline setting spray. But anyways, I used to upload like little pictures of myself on Facebook, Black Planet, MySpace and stuff of myself in like swimsuits and stuff. I was like very, very skinny back then. And a lot of people used to be like, oh, you should model. And I just used to think that people were just like, just saying that. But then as I got older, I started looking at myself like, oh, maybe I do look pretty nice, I do look, decent. So, I think I was like 19 years old, about to turn 20. I end up getting a message on my Facebook page by this one guy. We're gonna call him Jay. I ended up getting a message from Jay. He had like a production company and everything, like, and I really like, at first I wasn't really paying no attention to him. I would notice him like message me every now and then, but then one day I just clicked on the message and went to his page, and I saw like, oh, he does some like photography or whatever, I guess. I don't know, but it was just like this one girl who we just constantly took pictures of, and they weren't like like skimpy photos. Like some of the photos that he took of her were like in bathing suits. Some of them were just in regular clothes, but they were like modeling photos, and she was just so pretty. She looked like a black Asian doll. like a black girl with Asian eyes, that basically. And So yeah, I was just like, oh my God, this girl was beautiful, whoopie woo. And I wanted to see what he was about. So I just went ahead and, like, you know, gave him a chance, hit him up on Facebook. And, you know, he was like, oh, I thought you were never going to return my messages and whoop-de-woo. And I was like, well, yeah, I looked at your page. You're a pretty good photographer. And he asked me, do I model? And I was like, well, no, I would like to start, you know, I would like to get into modeling. And he was like, all right, well, you know, you can come out here. And he was in St. Louis. So I was just like, all right, cool. But I had a job, so I couldn't just drop everything. Actually, I had 2 jobs, so I couldn't just drop everything and just say, okay, I'm gonna come out there. And then I had like rent to pay, and then on top of that, like, you know, I just had other things to do. Like, I guess you could say I really didn't take that seriously too much. So you know, I would just basically procrastinate. So one day he was, you know, after that, like after we had spoke or whatever, we talked, and like a couple months went by, and he was just like, when are you gonna come out here? Like every time I would post a picture of myself in a swimsuit, he would comment and hit me up and be like, when are you gonna come out here? Like, just come out here already. And I'm like, dude, I can't just drop everything and then just come out there. So like one day he was just like, hey, I'm tired of you posting pictures of yourself in swimsuits. Come out here, I'll get your plane ticket. And I was like, really? So I was like, cool, like that's, you know, I don't have to spend no money, you know, and I'm trying to pursue my career in modeling. So okay, fine. So I went to both my jobs, let them know like, hey, I'm not gonna be in on this day or whatever, these couple of days, can I have off? And because I never really called off work, they just went on ahead, and I was a good worker, so they just went on ahead and was like, all right, you can have them days off. So I got them days off. I let him know. So he was like, all right, well, I'm about to get your plane ticket. So I was like, okay, pause. I was like, hey, Jay, I really don't like flying. I was like, I really don't fly much. I'm very scared to get on airplanes. I said, since you're all the way in St. Louis, you know, it's not all the way, because really in St. Louis to, you know, to Indiana really isn't that far. I mean, it's far, but it's really not that far. So I was like, since you're only in St. Louis and you're not that far from Indiana, how about, you know, you can just get like give me a bus ticket. He was like, are you sure? Because if you get here by plane, you'll get here quicker than bus. And I was like, no, I was like, honestly, Jay, I just really don't feel comfortable taking a plane. I'm scared to take a plane. So he was like, all right, well, you're gonna have to get out of that sooner or later. So I was just like, okay, well, this ain't that time. So he ended up getting the bus ticket, and I left Friday morning. I went to the bus station. I actually caught a cab to the bus station. Still, it's like parents feel like they still have some type of ownership over you, even though you're a certain age. So I didn't tell my mom, you know, so I was just like keeping it a secret, and basically caught a cab to the bus station. So I'm getting on the bus. I'm really anxious, like nervous, like can't wait to get there, can't wait to meet this guy, you know, and can't wait to do a photo shoot. I had ended up getting all my gear. Like I showed him the concept on what I wanted to do, and he was like, all right, cool. So I get on the bus, you know, hours later, arrive in St. Louis. So, but on my ride there, you know, he's texting me and everything like, oh, I can't wait to get this, you know, this shoot done or whatever. This is gonna be a dope shoot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, you know, I'm hype as hell too. Y'all, I'm just gonna do like a nude look. I don't wanna do too much because I've been breaking out a lot lately. So, yeah, I'm not gonna put too much makeup on my face. Gonna do like a little nude look. But yeah, on my ride there, he's like texting me and like, oh, I can't wait to get this shoot going, blah blah blah, it's gonna be dope. So I'm like, yeah, me too. So I finally, after hours later, I finally arrived to the bus station in St. Louis, and he's there. So yeah, like I arrived there. I ended up arriving there like very early because I left very early. I left like at 6 a.m. I think, and I arrived there, I want to say like probably, I don't know, I think I arrived there like at least 12 or 1 p.m. I think. So we were just stalling or whatever. I don't know why he was stalling, because I know why, because I ended up going there. He said, how about you get here Friday, you know, you chill, get everything that you know, need to get or whatever. I get you a hotel room. He even said he was gonna pay for a hotel room. So I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, and then on Saturday we'll do the shoot. After the shoot, I'll take you back to the bus station. Bam. So I was like, all right, cool. It sound good. Obviously, it sound good. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds so good. So I end up, I'm sorry, you guys. My daughter is a freaking maniac, and she got juice everywhere. So now I'm back. But where was I? Okay, so I think I said something about he was getting a hotel. Okay, so he said he was getting a hotel for me, and I was like, all right, cool. So come there Friday, just chill out, you know, get my mind ready for the shoot, and then Saturday morning do the shoot, and then go home right after the shoot. That was the whole plan. So I was like, cool. And at that time I had a boyfriend. His name was Drew. So Drew didn't know anything about this. He didn't even know that I had left, you know. So because I knew everybody, I knew people would try to talk me out of it, you know, but a part of me wished I did tell them so they could have talked me out of it, and a part of me, I'm kind of glad that I went through it, you know, because I can help other people. And not only that, you know, you live and you learn, basically. So I went to St. Louis, got there early, I think like around 12 or 1, 12:30 to 1. He was like, let's stall out or whatever. So we ended up going to Einstein Bagels, and we were there for a little bit. So then I ended up just riding around with him for a little bit. So the whole day we're stalling. And I'm just like, hey, did you call to see if the hotel room is ready? He was like, oh no, it's not ready yet. So I'm like, what is taking them so long to get the hotel room ready? Like, what is going on? And so around 5 p.m., 5:35, 5 or 5:30 p.m., we end up going to get this one chick who his buddy was trying to get at. So he ended up going to get her. I'm in the front seat. The girl gets in the car, say hi, whoop-de-woo. And we go to this gas station, and he meets up with the buddy, and the girl gets out the car and gets in the buddy car, and we all drive downtown where basically the hotel room was, and by the hotel there was like a bar, you know, little bar area or whatever. And I'm only 19, so I wasn't able to get in. So he was like, come on. I was like, dude, I already told you, like, you know I can't go in. So it's like, at this point, he met up, we're all, you know, in this parking lot together, and I think it's like 7:30 going on 8. 7:30, 7:45 going on 8. And they were just like, okay, we're about to go get something to eat. I said, well, how come we just can't go get something to eat at, like, you know, a restaurant or something? But they wanted to go in this freaking bar and get drinks. And I'm like, dude, I don't drink, for one. Two, I'm not of age. I'm only 19. I won't be 20 until like literally next year. So he's just like, all right, well, stay here. I'll be right back. So they all go in. I'm in the car, just sitting there. an hour go past, 30 minutes go past, another 30 minutes go past. So that's 2 hours I'm just in the car. And I'm just like, are they really just in there just drinking it up, just conversating while I'm out here in this car? So I noticed that the hotel was right there that he had said he had booked for me. And I'm like, hey, well, since you already, I said, so hey, what's going on with the hotel room? I had called him. He said, yeah, I already got it booked. I said, well, can I go ahead? I was like, can you go ahead and like tell me my room number, or go and get the key for me or whatever, or something like that, or come with me so I can get the key so they can know who's staying in the room. So they can know that it's my room, that, you know. He was like, oh no, I'll get it later when I'm done. So I'm like, huh, get it later when you're done? Dude, this is when it got so bad. So I'm just sitting out in the parking lot. At this time, it's like 9:30. So I'm just sitting out in the parking lot like, what the fuck? Excuse my language, but I'm like legit like, what the fuck did I get myself into? I'm out here by myself in this freaking parking lot, downtown St. Louis, and this dude, he's not even trying to give me no information on the hotel room or nothing. Like, he don't. I'm just like, what the heck? So but yeah, I'm hungry and I'm pissed and I'm just like all of the above. And I'm just like, damn, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm just sitting here, like legit just sitting here in the car. So I get out the car, I go in the hotel, and a white lady and a black lady up at the counter at the, they were the, you know, receptionists, the checkout people. The check-in and checkout people, basically the people at the receptionist desk. So, you know, I'm just like standing there calling him like, hey, can you come over here and let them know? And he was like, where you at? And I was like, at the hotel right across from the bar. And he was just like, why are you over there? And I'm like, because I've been in this car for like hours, and like you guys are in there drinking, and I told you that I'm underage. I can't even go in there. Like, I just want to like go to my room and like chill. That's all I want. And so he's just like not fucking with me. Like, at this point, he's just like, no, you're gonna have to wait. And I'm like, why do I gotta wait? Like, what is the big deal? Like, she said you already got it booked. You say you already got it booked. So what is the big deal? Dude, like, I was so pissed at that point. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, not the parking lot, but sitting in the hotel lobby. And my phone, it was like, my phone was already messed up. You know when like the charger area in the phone is loose, so no matter what charge you put in there, it's barely charging? That's basically what was happening to my phone. So I end up and then my charger was already effed up too, because I kept on wrapping around my phone so many times. So the charger was messed up too. And I asked the front desk lady, like, hey, do you guys have a charger for like, because at the time I didn't have an iPhone. I was like, for a Samsung phone and everything, whoop-de-woo. And she was like, yeah, sweetie, yeah, sure. So they end up giving me a charger. I'm sitting there in the lobby. I end up getting my phone back on, like charged to where it cut on. And I end up calling the guy, my boyfriend at the time. I end up calling Drew. And I'm like, man, dude, I'm in a situation. He was like, babe, where you at? And I'm like, I'm in St. Louis. He was like, why the hell are you in St. Louis? I was like, I'm in St. Louis because I really wanted to do this photo shoot. But this guy, he's playing, and he said he booked me a room and everything. And he was like, how come you didn't tell me? I was like, because I knew that you would try to talk me out of it. I knew my mom would try to talk me out of it. So that's just why I didn't say nothing. So he was just like, all right, babe. All right, well, just hold out. Let me see what I can do. So after I get done explaining to him what's going on, I don't think I like that. So after I get done explaining to Drew what is going on. I'm just sitting in the lobby, and the front desk lady, she heard my conversation. I don't like that. The front desk lady, she ended up hearing the conversation that I have with my boyfriend. And she came over to me and was like, sweetie, are you okay? And I'm just like, no, I'm not okay. Like, I broke down, started crying and everything. Y'all, I did not like that. For some reason, I did not like that. So I'm just going to cover that up with some brown. But she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not okay. I'm in a situation. She was like, so are you with those guys? She was like, it's two black guys or whatever. One is short and one is tall. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I told her what happened. I was like, so I met him on Facebook, and he said that he was a photographer, and we were gonna do a photo shoot. And she was just like, okay. So she went back to the desk, and she was just like talking to the black lady that was at the desk or whatever. And then they were like looking back at me. And so she came over and she was like, okay, sweetie. She said, so she was just like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is, she said, I'm just gonna tell you this right off the bat. They were talking about doing things with you, and I wasn't quite sure like who they were talking about, but I guess they were talking amongst them too, and the lady at the front desk ended up overhearing it. And just by the grace of God, the lady ended up seeing me. I ended up coming in there, letting her know like, hey, I'm with those two guys or whatever, or I'm with that one guy. And she ended up noticing that, oh, that one guy was with another guy or whatever. So she was just like, yeah, they weren't speaking too highly about you. And yeah, I don't, she was like, don't trust, she was like, if I were you, I wouldn't trust them. She was just like, matter of fact. So at this point, the stuff that she's telling me is just completely bad. Like, they were going to try this, they were going to try that. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? What did I get myself into? So I called up my boyfriend, let him know what was going on, let him know what the front desk lady said. And I just started crying. I was breaking down crying, like in the lobby, just boohoo crying. And the white lady was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get you a room. She was like, are you going home tomorrow? I was like, well, the plan, I was like I said, the plan was for me to come here, do the photo shoot tomorrow. The photo shoot was gonna happen in the room. The hotel was so nice. So it was gonna happen in the room. And she was like, all right, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and like book you a room. She was like, don't tell them where you at or anything. And she was like, do you have any other bags? So I ended up going out to the car. When I went back out to the car was locked. They had locked the door. Well, Jay had locked the door. So I ended up going in the bar, and they were like, can I have your ID? I said, so I was like, listen, I'm not 21. I just need to speak to that guy over there. My stuff is in his car. So I flagged Jay down, and I was like, come here. He was like, what's up? I said, can you unlock your door, please, so I can get my stuff out the car? And he was like, all right, cool. So he unlocked the door. I went and got my stuff out the car, went to the hotel. The lady had, when I went back in the hotel, she said, you have everything that you need? I was like, yeah. So she was like, do not contact him. Let him know. She was like, do not let him know what room you're in, where you're staying at, or anything. She said, because the stuff that they were talking about doing with you that I overheard, she was like, yeah, don't contact them anymore. So I was like, all right, thank you. Like, until this day, I wish I knew that lady's name, because I want to thank her. So like, I already thanked her, but it's just like, I felt like I could thank her even more if I knew her name, and like, you know. But so she ended up getting me in the room, and she was just like, all right, do you have any money? And I didn't have no money because I didn't get paid until when I was working the 2 jobs, I got paid at the same time, but it was every 2 weeks that I got paid. So I didn't get paid that Friday, but I was going to end up getting paid the next Friday. So I was like, all I have is $15. And she said, okay, well, keep that. She said, are you hungry? I was like, yeah, I am a little bit hungry, but it's so, I was telling her, like, it's fine. You've done enough. You don't need to get me anything. Like, I'm fine. So she was like, all right. So I'm up in the room, 30 minutes went past. I took a shower. The room was huge, humongous. Like, it had an area where you can, like, when you first walk in, a sitting area with the TV, like another room. And then when you walk back, I think it was like a suite that she put me in. So, yeah, so I'm in there, took a shower. I put on my pajamas and everything, just sitting there, really not even watching TV, just let my phone charge on my phone, texting. And I text my boyfriend at that time, and I was like, hey, let him know. I was letting him know the rundown, the blow by blow, what was going on, and that I was safe and everything. And he was like, all right, cool. So after I got off the phone with him, I hear a knock on the door, and it's the receptionist lady, and she brought up food. She had ended up getting me a burger with a fry, and she was just like overly nice, like, and she comes in and she's like, what all do you know about these guys? I said, well, I don't know that other guy. I was like, I will admit I don't know him. I said, but the other guy, Jay, I said, but I was like, yeah, I don't know that guy that Jay was with, but the other guy, I said, but Jay, I do know a little bit. We've been, messaging each other back and forth for the past couple of months, for the past 4 to 5.5 months or whatever. And, and basically he told me he was a photographer, and, I just basically gave her the blow by blow, rundown. And she was just like, yeah, he didn't seem like a good person. As soon as he came in and I heard him talking, I was like, sweetie, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 19. She was like, yeah, see. She was like, that's just God. She was like a godly woman, She was like, that was the grace of God, and she was like, it's a good thing that you came in here and that I saw you and whoopty woo. And I was like, yeah, thank goodness, like, thank God. So, and she was like, don't talk to them no more. Don't have any more contact with them, especially him. So I was like, oh yeah, no doubt about it. So she was like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave you, and I'll check up on you, see how you're doing. She was just like, don't call them, don't text them, nothing. So I was like, all right. So I ate my burger. I barely ate anything because I was already still nervous, and still going through the emotions on what had happened that night. So I end up eating probably a couple bites of my burger and a little bit of fries, and then I end up calling it a night, and I went to sleep. So that morning I woke up because I left early, and he texts me like, hey, are we still on for the shoot? And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, did he really just text me? Like, I know this woman told me not to message him or anything, but after that whole day, I was just like, dude, fuck you. Don't ever message me on Facebook. Don't text me. I literally went off on him. I legit went off on him. I was so pissed off. I felt betrayed. I felt I felt alone. I felt used. I felt like a piece of meat. I just felt anything that was that wasn't good. I felt so bad for myself. And I was just like, damn, why didn't I do any research about him? So, he ended up like, you know, like I said, hit me up like, hey, you still want to do the shoot today? And I was just like, dude, fuck you, leave me alone. Don't ever in your life contact me ever again, and I'm gonna make sure a lot of people hear about you. So I end up blocking him, like right then and there, on Facebook and on my text messaging. I end up blocking him. You know, I'm just gonna do like a light contour. So yeah, like I said, I blocked him on everything. And after I blocked him, probably like an hour and a half later, I ended up getting a call from the front desk person, and the front desk person was like, hey, such and such isn't here anymore. You know, alarm or whatever, she told me to wake you up at a certain time or whatever. So at this point, I'm just like, damn, how am I gonna get home now? Because I don't have my bus ticket. Because when he bought my plane ticket like one way, and then he said after the shoot he was going to buy the other bus ticket. He said he was gonna buy the other bus ticket, which is stupid of me, because it's like I should never fell for it. I should have been like, okay, if you're not gonna do like, you know, a round trip, then I'm not gonna accept it. That's what I should have did. But when you're young and you're really wanting to follow your dreams and aspirations and goals and everything, you kind of like just put it all out there, like, all right, let me just go ahead and do what I gotta do. So yeah, basically I was just like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna get home. So now I'm really gonna have to call my mom, because I really don't have no money. So when I went downstairs, the lady who was working the morning shift was like, hey, such and such wanted me to give you this. And it was an envelope, and it was like a white envelope. It had money in there, and it had you know, the information to, you know, basically it had money in there, and a bus ticket, and my bus ticket, and the information and everything, and what time I leave. Dude, when I say I broke down and cried, because I was like, she saved me from having to tell my mom anything. She saved me from this guy. She just like saved me, like, period. I broke down and cried. And she gave me money for food. She gave me money for a cab, you know, so I can have transportation back to the bus station. She was like literally a lifesaver. I wish I remember her name. But yeah, so you know, she ended up getting me all this stuff to get back home or whatever, and she had like a little note in there and was like, you're so beautiful, and you shouldn't have to, you know, lower your standards to stuff like that. You know, do your research next time before going out in the world. You're too young to be going through this. And she was right. And so what happened was, I ended up getting in the cab, going to the bus station. And while I was at the bus station, I was like waiting for like an hour and a half, because it wasn't time for me to get on the bus or whatever. So I was just waiting, basically. And while I was waiting, I was just like, you know what, I might as well go ahead and look this guy up or whatever. Something that I should have did in the first place. Why I didn't, I don't freaking know. Stupid me. But I end up researching his name, and come to find out, this dude, he did porn. Not like in porn, but he records porn. So I'm thinking that they were gonna try to have me like in a porno. That's what I really think what was gonna happen, or what was like about to happen, or what they thought was about to happen. I came there for a photo shoot, and that's all. Obviously, they were there for much more than what I thought I was there for. So I end up hitting him up, and I'm like, dude, so you do porn? And he was like, yeah, you know how much money you can make? Like, I was about to make you a bunch of money. I was like, so what were you gonna do? Put me on a spot like out of nowhere and try to shoot a porno with me? Like, dude. And he was like, no, I already had someone for you. And I was like, you are sick. You are one sick ass twisted human being. And I was like, I really don't want nothing to do with you. And I was like, and everyone will hear about you. And he was like, well, that's fine. He's like, I don't care. Like, I do porn. So what? So, getting on the bus, I end up getting on a bus, and I'm just sitting there like at relief. Like, I can't believe I'm finally on this bus, about to go home finally. And yeah, y'all, like, I'm just sitting there like, I can't believe I went through that bull. So in the mix of all that, I'm still in contact with my boyfriend at that time. I'm still in contact with Drew, and he's just like, hey babe, where you at? You know, he's just checking on me and everything. He's mad at me because I didn't tell him, but you know, I had to, like, you know, learn. You live, like I said, you live and you learn. But so a couple hours later, I end up arriving back home to Indianapolis, Indiana, downtown, because the bus station is downtown in Indianapolis. So I told him what time I was going to be arriving there, and he was like, hey, are you tired? And I was like, I'm a little exhausted. Why? And he was like, because my brother got you a gig to be in a fashion show. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, and it's really tonight. And I was like, are you kidding me? He was like, no, I'm dead serious. He said, we gotta go like right now. Like right when I was getting off the bus, as soon as I was getting off the bus, I had to like go, like boom, Harry. So I think what happened was the guy who I was with at the time, he told his brother what was going on, and his brother got connections, and his brother was just like, well, fuck, shit, you should have been told me this. I got connections. So I end up meeting this one lady, Denisha Green, and I modeled for her first, I modeled my first fashion show for Denisha Green. And y'all, all I gotta say was that weekend was exhausting and very dramatic. That weekend was very, very dramatic. It's like how you go from like that situation like that to being in a freaking fashion show. I really learned my lesson. And my lesson to you guys, what I can teach y'all is, before, ladies, these men in the modeling industry, in this type of industry, they prey on young girls such as myself back then, you know, especially young, beautiful girls. And they think they can get away with a lot. And some of them do get away with it. You know, Do your research. Do your research before anything. Before you make that big jump and just say, okay, do that research, because you never know what type of stuff you'll get yourself into. If I would have done my research, if I would have typed in that information of Jay's information, and like seeing that he is a production company for porn, I wouldn't have went, period. I'm trying to be a model. I'm not trying to do soft porn. I'm not trying to do hardcore porn. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm just trying to model because that's my dream. That's what I want to do. I am just so happy that nothing bad happened to me. Like, anything could have happened to me. Anything could have happened to me. And the fact that I made it back home in one piece, and on top of that was able to be in a fashion show, that just shows you how God works. After that, I've never ever spoken to him again. I never had any type of contact with him ever again, with that Jay guy. And you know what's crazy? Because when I was at the bus station, my mom called me like, where are you at? And I was just like, I'm at my friend's or whatever. I basically lied to her because I didn't want her to worry or anything. And my mom's type of worrying, she'll be worried for you but still cuss you out and yell at you in the same breath. And it's just like, what type of worrying is this? Like, I just end up not telling her anything at all. But yeah, ladies, make sure you do your research with these photographers, with these people who you're trusting yourself with. These people are just users, just want to, you know, use you and hurt you. So make sure you do your research. That should be the first thing that you do. Learn from my mistakes. You know, that lady who helped me, like, God bless her too, because that lady could have easily just said, okay, whatever, that's not my problem. Never go through anything like that, like, at all. The me today would do my research before I even say yes to anything. The me today would have been like, how much? Because let me remind you, let me tell you guys something. I didn't even ask him how much, because for one, that's how excited I was to do like a photo shoot. Like I said, so yeah, you guys, make sure y'all do y'all research. Let girls, if you want to become a model, do your research first before you start dealing with these shiesty men. Like, that is like really crazy. And I just want to help other girls, you know, because like I said, there are photographers out here who do prey on young pretty girls, and you know, they think, oh, they're new, they're young, they're fresh in the industry, they don't really know much, so they like to take advantage of young pretty girls. And I think that's very sick. But this is the final look. You guys, let me know if you want more videos like this. Don't forget to, again, like, comment, subscribe, slap the notification bell to get updates, because if you tune into the YCC, then with the MOB. And like I said, let me know if you want more videos like this, more story times, because I have a bunch of stories that I would like to share with you guys. Because, you know, my mistakes, I don't mind telling, you know, things that I've been through. Some of the stuff that I've been through are embarrassing. Like, this story was embarrassing. Like, I should have did my research. I should never went anywhere without barely any money, like, you know, but that's how young I was, and that's how eager and how much drive I had as far as like modeling, and like, that's how much passion I had. I was willing to take a leap, you know, on faith, and that's basically what happened. So yeah, just let me know if you guys want more videos like this, and I will be more than happy to give you guys more videos, more story times, because like I said, I have a lot. And this is the final look. But yeah, let me know if you want more story times like this, or if you would just prefer me just to talk and not do my makeup, or do my makeup or do a mukbang with the story time. Let me know. Yeah, that's it. And I have to go because I hear my daughter and my husband's phone is going off and he's pretty sure he needed it, and I kicked him out the room so I can do the story time because I didn't want to be interrupted. But anyway, it's time for me to go and do some TikToks and give you guys content and stuff like that. And so, you know. But I love you guys, and I see you on my next video. Bye.